yes, the first card you have for your past is the Eight of Pentacles. So yeah, this makes me smile because I always see you being totally focused on your work. You're always very, very work focused. You know this. You're a hard worker. You're an efficient worker. You're organized. You know all of that. I'm actually seeing you almost having a kind of a pinpoint focus on something at this time. It's like, you're really, really concentrating. And you weren't doing this because you wanted to get something finished. It was like you really wanted it to be perfect. You wanted everything to be right on this thing you were working on. And I think you were going about this very, very carefully. Maybe you had to try to block things out of your head while you did this. Maybe you turned off your phone or whatever distraction you had around you. And you were good at this. You're really good at blocking out things. You're really good at focusing. Not many people can do this. I mean, there are so many distractions around us. I really struggle to do that myself. I think, I start to do my work and I think, oh, let's see what's happening on YouTube, what's happening on this website over here, and what's this and that. So, you were really good at doing this. You always are really good at focusing on your work. And I know this is in the past, but I'm actually seeing some good financial payouts coming to you in your future that are going to come out of some work that you're doing or you were doing at this time. I'm not seeing the payouts coming from this thing that you were doing when you were focusing, but these were coming from something that was your kind of day-to-day work, because I'm seeing this work you were focusing on was quite personal, quite important to you personally and emotionally, but you had some other kind of day-to-day, everyday work that was kind of separate from this, and this money that's coming in is going to come from that, if that makes sense to you. Yeah, it's work that was a bit more routine, but you deserve this. You deserve this money that's coming in. You work really, really hard. I always see that. So that's a really positive thing that's going to come in for you. So the next card you have for your past is the Four of Wands, which is a fantastic card for you. Yeah, I'm seeing welcoming. This card can be about, get-togethers, parties, celebrations, all of that kind of thing. It can also be about, getting together with family. But a lot of the time, to me, it's just this, it's about this feeling. It's about a feeling that's welcoming, relaxed, happy, just having a really fun time, just having a really nice time, just putting your head back and laughing, all of that kind of thing. I'm actually seeing you talking to someone at this time. I think this person could have been far away from you, actually, at a distance. You could have been talking to them on the phone, or you could have been talking to them on Skype or FaceTime or something like that. I think they would have really loved you to have been closer to them, because look at these two women in this card. They're kind of waving to you and they're saying, come here, come close. Here we are, we're over here, come close to us. So I think, this person wanted you to be close, but you weren't. You were kind of distant from them. And you might move to be closer to each other at some time in the future. I'm seeing this could be, this could have been a friend, or it could have been a love connection. But, you felt so relaxed around this person. And this is someone who, they're going to be in your life for a long, long, long time, maybe even for life, I'm seeing. If this is a friend, I can't quite see if this is a friend or a love connection, but if this is a friend, this is probably going to be a friend for life. If this is a love connection, you have a very, very, very long future with this person, a very long future, maybe even marriage. This can be the marriage card as well. So, I don't see this as the marriage card very often, but I'm seeing it here. So if this resonates, there's a very, very deep, very special connection between you and this person that you were talking to. So the last card you have for your past is the Nine of Swords. So obviously this isn't very nice. You are very confident in your work and you're confident in your abilities, and so you should be. You're very capable. But some criticisms do actually get to you. You might not show it, you probably don't show it to people, but they actually do deep down. They really do get to you, especially personal criticisms. Now, I'm seeing there might have been some things that were said to you that were actually quite nasty. They're actually quite hurtful, maybe even personal. And, you know, these words could have been running through your head, a bit like the swords that are running through this poor woman's head. Some of this criticism was obviously not true. I mean, especially these personal attacks that I'm seeing, they were absolutely not true. But there were some other things that were said, probably by someone else, a different person, that were said kind of at around the same time or a similar time or within the few days that this personal criticism was made toward you. But this was more constructive criticism. And, you know, this is what you had to try and discern between constructive criticism, which kind of gives you room to improve. It kind of tells you where you've gone wrong. It's kind of, you know where you are with it. It doesn't feel personal. It doesn't feel like an attack. And then there's destructive criticism, which is just meant to hurt you. So when you're upset and you're feeling like this poor woman here, it really isn't easy to kind of pull these different things apart. Sometimes you just feel like, oh, it's one great big huge ball of horrible criticism, and I just feel so attacked, I just feel so hurt. All I can do is feel this feeling. I can't really think even clearly, let alone discern which things are constructive and which things are destructive. But you've got to really try to do this. Try to kind of calm down around this. Really try to separate these two different things, the constructive from the destructive. Obviously, throw away any personal attacks. They're all rubbish, you know that. Look at the rest very carefully. Look at the rest very objectively, without any emotion. If you can, I know this is really hard, but just try to think about this, how you can improve, yeah, if you can improve. Maybe you can't. Think about areas where you might be able to improve, but only think about the constructive. Ignore the destructive, definitely. And yeah, I know this would have been really hard for you because your reputation and your work are extremely important to you. I know that. And I think, you know, if these are threatened, it can feel quite devastating to you. But, you know, try to calm down as much as you can. Meditate if you can. If this is something you do anything that you can to try and calm down around this so that you can really see which things are which. You can really separate these things out. I hope that makes sense to you. I know I stumbled over my words then. I was trying to kind of let you know what I was seeing. It was a little bit confusing. The first card you have for your present is the Page of Pentacles. So I think, you know, what you really want deep down is stability in your work and also in your relationships as well. And I think that's why you work so hard. This is probably why these criticisms hit you so hard, because maybe it felt like a threat to your work and your ability to get and maybe to keep that financial stability that's so important to you. I think you might have grown up without this stability around you, and that's why you like to create this around yourself, and that's why you don't want anything to threaten that stability. But, you know, really, when you calm down and when you think about it, I think you're going to realize that this really wasn't a threat to any of that. I mean, the destructive stuff was just really rubbish. It was just, you know, a personal attack. Just ignore that. And the constructive stuff, that wasn't any threat to you either. It was someone trying to tell you what they think you should do. So look at that objectively, calm down, see it, look at it carefully, pick that apart as well. Think about, can I use this? Can I change what I'm doing? If I can, how can I? Do I agree with this? For a start, you might not agree with it. You know, think about all those things. Just look at it very carefully and objectively. The other thing I'm seeing with this card is adventure. I think you have this rare kind of personality type that wants stability and adventure at the same time, actually. Yeah, you can have both. You definitely can. Don't think you ever have to have one or the other. People might have told you this. Oh, either you could go out and have fun, or you can stay around and make money and do the sensible thing. No, you can do both. You can absolutely do both. I mean, these pages' feet are on the ground. Your feet are on the ground as well. You can't see the page's feet, but I know they're on the ground. They're underneath this other card, but you know they are. Yeah, you're very realistic, you're very hardworking, like this pages. But, look at the way he's holding this coin. He's holding it up into the air. It looks as if it's kind of lighting up the whole sky. I think, and this is your ambition, this is what you're thinking you'd like to do. So, I think you would like to be up in the sky, or part of you would like to be up in the sky. That does make sense. I don't mean your leg wants to be up in the sky and your arm wants to be down on the earth. I don't mean that. What I mean is a part of your inner self is thinking that you would like to be flying or traveling or going somewhere. That's what I mean by that. You might even want to live and work in a completely different place. I think I saw this in your last reading, actually, thinking about working and traveling together, or traveling or something like that. So don't limit yourself. If this is how you feel, if you really, really want to travel, if you feel like this is something you really want to do, definitely don't limit yourself. You can do this. Of course, you have to consider other people around you. You can't just kind of consider yourself, especially if you have family. But there's always a way to do what you want. There always is. You can achieve what you want, definitely. I know that sounds cringy, like I'm all positivity. I don't mean it to sound like that. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. You can. I agree with that. I believe that. You can do that. You can do whatever you want. I absolutely believe that. I really do. The next card you have for your present is the Hermit. So the Hermit can be about looking inside yourself, meditating, a lot of different things. And obviously, again, I'm seeing with this kind of trying to work out what sort of criticism you should listen to and think about and get your head around. Obviously, meditating will help you with that. But, the thing I'm seeing is that I'm just looking at the angle of this Hermit, actually. And it looks as if he's really high up and we're looking up at him from a kind of a lower perspective, if that makes sense. He's high up on a mountain, high up somewhere, and we're kind of looking up at him. So what I'm seeing here is that, yeah, these people who criticized you or attacked you, maybe they might come back again at you. They might say some more things to you. Or it might be that their words are still kind of on your mind at this time. And I can see why they would be. These were really hurtful words and they're hard to get rid of. When you have these words in your head, it's very hard to get them out of your head. But I think this is a message to you to take the high road. Like this Hermit, he's taking the high road. He's by himself, he's going into enlightenment, he's up high on a road. He's not going to be bothered by any silly people. He's just concentrating on what he thinks is the best thing to concentrate on. So, if you come back at these people, or you try to defend themselves or say anything at all to these people, I think you'll be giving them what they want. These kinds of people, they just love attention. So try to focus on higher things like this Hermit. And, you have so much that you want to achieve, so much that you should be focusing on. So focus on that, focus on that. Don't focus on these people. The last card you have for your present is the Knight of Pentacles. So yes, again, don't give any of these people any attention at all. Keep on going along in the way that you're going, working solidly, slowly, getting there, concentrating on what you're doing, just like this workhorse. But again, I'm seeing a similar thing here to what I'm seeing in the Eight of Pentacles. You're still going to be working on this project, this thing that means a lot to you personally. And you're taking your time, you're making sure everything's right, and that's absolutely fine. That's a good thing, of course. I know you value your reputation, but try not to get so bogged down in the details. Don't get so bogged down in all the little details that you never actually get to see the end of this project. You do need to finish this at some time, and a finished thing that goes out into the world is better than an unfinished thing that never goes out into the world, definitely. So there's a line. I mean, you can keep on changing things, correcting things, whatever you do, but there's a line between doing that, making sure everything's right, and just kind of changing things for the sake of it. So try to think about, have I gone over that line? Have I not? Where do I get to this line? Once you get to that line, finish things. Please finish things and get it done. Get it out into the world. That's what I'm seeing. The first card you have for your future is the Knight of Swords. So yes, look at these. Look at this knight attacking. He's kind of crazily attacking. He's kind of just so out of control and crazy. So yes, this is why these people were attacking, or unfairly criticizing you. I'm seeing these people were probably around your workplace, and they probably still are around your workplace, because I am seeing they might come back to you again. I'm seeing one main person in this, and I'm seeing someone else, a sort of like their little sidekick. But yes, the main person definitely feels quite out of control of their lives, actually. Like this poor horse that this knight's on. They see you as someone who is in control, and they see themselves as someone who's out of control. So yes, you probably are more in control than they are, but that's because you concentrate on what you're doing. You concentrate on your work. You don't concentrate on what other people are doing. You don't compare yourself to other people. You don't start drama. You don't start gossip. You don't start bothering people. You just concentrate on your own thing. You just get on with things. So again, keep on getting on with things. Just ignore them, keep moving forward. And, if you do have these travel plans that I was seeing, please be careful about who you talk to about these travel plans or any other plans. Try not to let these people hear anything about your life. Don't fuel the attention seekers. Keep everything away from them, away from their ears, away from their eyes. Even indirectly, you might want to even be careful to talk to people who might talk to them, that kind of thing. Be very careful, because once they hear any kind of thing about you, you know what they're like, these people. They run with it, they gossip, all of that kind of thing. Now, if they're going to do that, they're going to do that. You can't stop them from doing all of that all the time, but try to minimize it as much as you can, because it's never nice to be on the receiving end of all of this stuff. It's really horrible, actually. These people are quite personal and vicious. That's what I'm seeing. The next card you have for your future is the Five of Swords. Yes. So again, I don't mean to repeat this again, but obviously here they are again. Here are these people again. Again, walk away. This is another message just telling you the same thing, basically. Ignore these people. If they feel as if they've won, which they will. I mean, if you ignore them and you don't kind of say anything and they keep on, they're going to think, oh, I've won, ha ha ha, this person's lost, person's won, I've won, they've lost. Let them think that. Who cares? Who cares if they think that? Let them set their mind onto these kind of silly, petty, trivial things all the time. Put all of that junk in their mind. Let them think that all day long, all night long. Who cares? Your mind is set to higher things. Your mind is set to achieving things. So it's a good thing their mind's on this rubbish, because, while they're worried about that, doing that, you can just be minding your own business, building your empire, building yourself up, doing your own thing, achieving what you want to achieve. I'm also seeing a funny, smart, kind of witty conversation in this card. It's like, your mind's actually going to be really sharp at this time, and I'm seeing you kind of using it in your work, using your sharp wit and your mind and your clever and your intellect, all of that in your work. But I'm also seeing it, I'm also seeing you making jokes, really kind of clever jokes. This might have something to do with this friend or this love connection I'm seeing in the Four of Wands. You might have been having a lot of fun with this person. I'm seeing you actually having maybe some late night conversations. I'm seeing you might maybe kind of really enjoying talking to this person, joking, having a bit of banter, making fun of each other, kind of cheeky but playful kind of thing, saying things to each other. This sounds really fantastic, actually. If this resonates, I wish it were me. But yes, you're using your wit for your work, but you're also using it for fun. That's what you're doing at this time, and this sounds fantastic. Yeah, so the last card you have for your future is the World. So yeah, the World, again, I'm seeing traveling. So if your mind's truly set on this traveling that I was seeing in the Page of Pentacles, you will definitely be able to do this. I'm seeing it again. There might even be some opportunities that you can look at right now. Start looking into things right now and plan for how you can implement them into your future. I don't mean start traveling right now. I don't mean get your suitcase and kind of go to the airport and get on any old flight to anywhere, obviously. But there are going to be some opportunities around you at this time that you can start planning toward now, or you can start researching now. I'm actually seeing something very specific that you might have to apply for, and if it all goes to plan, you might be doing this late next year. But plan for it now if that's what you want to do. There are also some other options. I'm seeing a few around you, other ones, but if you want to do this, keep on thinking about this, keep on researching this, and just keep it in your mind. If you keep it in your mind but just relax with it, that's when a lot of these ideas are going to just pop into your head, and you're going to see these ideas everywhere. That's what I'm seeing. The World is fantastic. This kind of sets you free, like this beautiful woman on this card, and she's flying as well. Look at her, she's flying in the air.